Hello, hey guys! Today I am answering your questions. Hooray! I think I might try to do these more often. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. What was the reaction from your family when you decided to travel solo and living in New Zealand? I have very traditional parents who are not understanding, and it makes the traveling not as fun when I know I don't have the support from them. Any advice? I've gotten a few other questions like this. I just got one on Snapchat which was basically the same question. It's super hard when your family is not understanding. You don't want to cause trouble within your family, and it's very tricky. The reaction from my family was actually really good. My parents are very supportive, and I feel very fortunate to have parents who are supportive of me. I did kind of have to explain it a little bit in a bigger picture and kind of say, like, these are my goals and this is what I hope to get out of it. I think my parents, yeah, they were happy for me, but I do think they miss me, and that part is hard. It's hard for me too because I miss them. Traveling is amazing in so many ways, but there are some sacrifices that you have to make, and right now one of the sacrifices I'm making is not being close to my family. I would suggest just trying to do whatever you can to put their mind at ease, and just, you know, promise that you'll check in with them often, where it's so easy now with the internet. You have to understand that if your parents weren't really people to travel themselves, and then all they see on the news are like these horror stories of, you know, girls that go missing when they're traveling, etc. Of course they're gonna be worried, and they're worried, you know, travel is expensive. So they're worried about money, they're worried about your safety, they're worried about your future, they're worried about a lot of things, and it just comes from a place of love. I think you have to recognize that first and kind of put yourself in their shoes. And then you can kind of go about it and tackle each of those issues and explain to them that it's really not so bad. Money-wise, like, you can actually travel really cheaply. You learn so much about yourself. You really come out of travel being a better person, more humble, more generous, more caring, just eyes open to the world. You'll be a better person. Tell them all these things, and safety, I mean, the truth of the matter is, like, you are kind of unsafe every day, no matter where you are, even at home. I've traveled all over the world and, knock on wood, have not had any major issues or anything. It's like, then I go home and just ram into a telephone pole just because I'm clumsy. You know, anything can happen at any time, and that's not meant to be pessimistic, but it's just the truth. So it's just about perspective, and I think, you know, the unknown is scary, but if you kind of explain to your parents that most people don't ever have any issue traveling. I really pretty much always have felt 100% safe. I think you just have to remind them that you know, you're your own person and you need to take risks and grow, and traveling is such a good way to do that. And I don't want to tell you to do something against your parents' wishes. I think just trying to understand where they're coming from and then explain to them more about it, and promise to check in with them as often as you can. I think that will help ease their minds. Just do be safe and use your intuition, and if you're super in debt, maybe it's not a good time to do it. Maybe try to build up some savings first. You know, just be smart about it. Thank you for that question. I hope I answered it. If any of you have dealt with this, please put it in the comments below. Maybe you can help someone else out. That would be great. Next question. I'm 17 and I'll start college next year. Awesome. What career would you recommend me to choose if I want to have your lifestyle? Thanks in advance. Well, it's just weird to me that anyone is asking my life advice. Well, first of all, I'm very happy for you that you're going to college. I think that's great because education is so important. I went to university. I majored in political science and minored in history, which I found very fascinating. I loved learning about the world and different countries and how countries interact and different types of governments, and history. I think history is so cool and important, and I think it provided me with a good foundation of the world. I never did much traveling when I was younger. I kind of just started working after that. I worked a lot of different kinds of jobs. I worked in the public sector. I worked in the entertainment industry, in the fashion industry, a lot of hospitality, graphic design, a lot of different things. And it's all kind of led me to what I'm doing now. Life is funny in that you make choices as you go along and you don't see how things connect. It's only when you look back that you're like, oh, kind of these things fit together and this is how I'm doing this now. But my advice to you would be to go to college. If you don't know exactly what you want to major in, this is what I did at least. My first year, I kind of took classes in all different subjects, kind of just whatever, anything that even slightly interested me. I was like, oh, I'll try that. Like just try out all different kinds of things and different courses and different lines of study. And when you find something that you're like, oh, I'm really interested in this and I want to know more about it, then go towards that. I would definitely recommend studying abroad while you can. That's such a good way to travel, but also continue studying. I never did that, but I wish I had. I feel like more and more there are jobs that allow you to travel, and there's a lot of jobs now that are just, you can do online, you can do from anywhere. If you follow your passions while still being kind of realistic and working hard, that's what you need to do. And just so you know, I started working when I was 15. I've always worked, and I know now all you see of me is like, I'm going hiking, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. But you don't see all of the hours that I put into this, and I work really hard still. Like my friends or anyone who has traveled with me, they know, they're like, ooh, I don't think I want to do that, because like, you know, they can go out like partying at night and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stay in and edit. It's a lot of work, there's a lot of things, but I really enjoy the editing and I'm enjoying doing this right now. I don't make a full-time living from it though. Nothing comes easy. It takes a lot of hard work and dedication and finding out what your passions are. And I've tried a lot of different things, and I think that's kind of the only way you can really know. Just for you, work on your passions, work on honing your skills and your education, study abroad, do things like that, and just enjoy your college years. They're so fun. Do you see yourself ever moving back to the US and staying permanently? And if so, would you pick to go back to New York or California? Well, I'll definitely be back in the US at some point, and I don't know, I think I'm still really enjoying traveling, and there's so many places I haven't been yet that it's hard for me to say like, I don't really want to set up like a permanent residence yet. So I haven't quite thought about where I would live in the US. New York City is just amazing. It will always hold such a good place in my heart. I would live there again for like a few months, maybe a year, but I don't think I would want to live there again on a permanent basis, at least for now. So between the two, I think California. Because if I am back in the US, I feel like one reason that I would be back is to be closer to my family, and they're in California, so probably California. All right. Oh. This question. Is Nick your boyfriend? And no, you won't lose a subscriber if you said yes. Okay, I've kind of been avoiding this if you couldn't tell. Well, just because, I don't know, it's kind of like a personal thing, and then obviously I put my life for you guys to watch online, so I guess. Okay, anyway, so yes, we are dating. And thank you for not unsubscribing. To be perfectly honest, one reason I didn't say that before is because, I don't know, I didn't want anyone to think of me differently, and I guess, yeah, I didn't want anyone to stop watching because of that. I don't know, it's just kind of weird. Like, I know some of you watch me because I'm a solo traveler and I'm doing this on my own and stuff, and so I feel kind of weird about that, I guess. But as much as this is about traveling, it's just kind of about my life, and this is kind of just what's happening now. If you're new to this channel, a little backstory. So Nick and I met when I was in New Zealand earlier this year in April. And we were just friends at first, and then it kind of grew into something more than friends, and then we kept in touch after I left New Zealand, and I was gone for like 4 months. And then it just like somehow it developed into a thing where we were just talking every day, and I don't know. And then right before I was moving out here, he was moving to Christchurch because he got a new job and he was looking for apartments. One thing led to another, and somehow we decided it was a good idea if I moved in with him. So yeah. Yeah, and it's been really good so far. I'm very happy. It's really nice. I mean, I love solo travel and being alone, but like it's really nice also to have someone to share experiences with, and we just get along really well. So yeah, with that in mind, I just want to ask for your respect in this matter, and just please be nice in the comments, and be nice to Nick, because he did not really sign up to be on YouTube, you know, like it just kind of comes along with me. He's super supportive and really awesome about it. So yeah, and I'm actually happy to answer this question, because now, I don't know, I felt kind of weird, like I was hiding something from you guys, but then I was like, I don't know, like do they need to know? But I don't know, it feels weird to say, and then it just got really weird. Yeah, so that secret is out. And be like Ivan, don't unsubscribe, please. Alright, last question. How is everything after the earthquake? And would you prefer to stay in Christchurch? Everything here is fine. If you really want to live in Christchurch, I wouldn't let the earthquake stop you. I mean, earthquakes are really tricky because they're just the kind of thing that like a big one could happen anytime. They keep saying there's supposed to be a big one in California and in Seattle. Those are both places I've lived, but they haven't stopped me from living there. Again, just anything could happen anytime, and if you let things like fear control your life, then you will end up not doing a lot of things that you might want to do. So I would just say, if you really want to do it, just do it. You deal with things as they happen, and you just, you know, you try to be safe and be prepared, but that's the best you can do. Thank you so much for your questions. Now I want to share with you, I got an email from Victoria. She did not send in a video, but she wrote a nice email and sent some pictures, so I'm just going to read that with you and share it. She says, I'm originally from Virginia, but my job as an Army logistics officer required me to relocate to Anchorage, Alaska, where I've been stationed for 3 years now. I have been subscribing to your channel for over a year because I was looking into solo travel, and your videos from your time spent in Australia popped up. In the past few years, I have developed a genuine love for travel, and I even started a travel blog called The Wandering Ginger. My first solo travel experience was to British Columbia this past summer, specifically Vancouver, Whistler, and Victoria. It was an absolutely amazing experience, and I am so glad that I did not let the fear of traveling by myself hold me back from going on the trip. I was able to see Adele live in concert in Vancouver, went bungee jumping in Whistler, and I got to explore downtown Victoria and the Bouchard Gardens. Don't know how to say that. I will be moving back to Virginia in March, and during my time off, I will be traveling solo to Australia for 3 weeks. Thank you so much, Victoria. Anyway, I hope you liked this video, and now, since I answered your questions, I have some questions for you. What kind of videos do you want to see from me? Is there anything in particular you want to see me do? Is there any kind of video that you want to see? Put it in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. Also, just any other feedback you have for me, any music suggestions, anything at all that you feel like telling me, please just give me feedback here. I really like to hear your feedback. Yeah, so let me know and send in your viewer submissions. I'd love to see them. Thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate you all, and I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. And to all you Americans, I hope you had a lovely Thanksgiving and got to spend some time with friends and family, and just know that I'm thankful for you guys. All right, bye.